Should be live soon. We're gonna find out. One second. 1 second, folks. Let me take a look here. Hopefully everything's working right. We are testing out something new today in a way. Oh. That's interesting. It doesn't... 1 second. It doesn't sound like the filter is on. It says filters 5. It looks like they're on. We might just have to deal with that for today. But there is a plan. None of this is any concern for right now. The thing that we are doing differently for today's stream, in terms of behind the scenes stuff, is I have my old PC and my new PC set up right here. So on my left side here, where I have my webcam, I have my bigger, kind of stronger PC, the new one, which is the one I'm playing Minecraft on. And then on the other side, I have my old PC, which is being used to have Streamlabs open, and we're streaming off of that. So it's been a work in progress, but we've got them both working together so that the manpower of streaming and gaming is split up between 2 PCs instead of 1. So yeah, here we are. Ooh. And I'm gonna have to remember all the commands and stuff. So it should be slash game rule, daylight cycle. What is it? Do daylight cycle. Do I actually have to do the capitals? It has been a minute, you guys. Minecraft and me. Oh, and typing too, apparently. But yeah, should just stay daytime now. But we're gonna build. That's the plan. I want to build in Minecraft. This is what we're gonna do. It is dead quiet. Alright. Today I want to kind of revisit an old thing that I've done, which was previously I made a lighthouse and a pirate ship type build. And it was in a Mooshroom biome area, so I found this seed with this enormous Mooshroom island. And I kind of wanted to spruce it up a little bit. And right now what we're going to do is just find a nice spot. I'm thinking over in this area and just start creating our little dock area and our little beach. And just going for it with a build. Just really going at it, which I have not done in a while. So I'm pretty excited to get to it. I would love some feedback and some suggestions, but for now, I think we're ready to just kind of get started with it. And I think we want lots and lots of details in it also. So I don't know. I'm definitely thinking spruce is the way to go, and I'm also thinking, actually, we should be recording. And then that way later we make this into a TikTok. It'd be fun. But yeah, we've got a lot of space to work with. I'm just kind of thinking, how high do I want my dock and stuff? I think oak and spruce wood is a fantastic combo, so I might want to try and go for that. Or even dark oak. Dark oak might be the way to go, and have the spruce wood above the water. And that way it looks like the wood is actually wet. That's kind of a little technique I learned a while ago. So I say we just get to it. I always have trouble getting started, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 across. It'll be kind of big, but I think the easiest way to get started when you're building stuff in Minecraft is literally just to start it. About yay tall, maybe? Maybe taller. Something like that. What do we think? I think it's alright. Probably the biggest part. The dark oak doesn't look as dark as I thought it would. Maybe we should go with the oak instead. Oak above, or just... probably oak. Because then there's a bigger contrast. But it might be too much. I don't know. I struggle with this part a lot. Or maybe the new one? I haven't really played with this, the mangrove. It just looks like a different thing entirely. I don't know. But these... I almost think that spruce is the darker one. It's really weird. Yeah, look at that. That's so odd. You would think with a name like Dark Oak that would be the one, right? Oh, they're called log. That's why. That makes sense. I do like how mangrove is kind of that magenta-y color in the middle. That's actually really nice. Nah, you know what? Screw it. We're just gonna go with spruce the whole way up. There's some times where detail like that is pretty cool, and I think if I use the fences instead, that would definitely work out better. But when we're going with just this, I think it's probably best to just leave it be. And we'll decide how we're gonna figure out how this pier thing is gonna work later on. But I think if we just get a nice little base going for this, I feel like... What do we think about making it inset a little bit more? So it's like that instead. I feel like that's a better pier look. And then from here, let me turn this down a little bit. We could decide how we're gonna kind of have this go. Doesn't does it change when it's near the fence? Didn't the fence gates used to be weird? Did they fix that finally? I think they finally changed it. Here. There we go. No, I guess they finally changed it. But we could still do something like that. And I think it would be fine. And then have, like... what are they called? Lanterns? Yeah. I think having lanterns here is good. kind of basic so far. I don't know. What's at our disposal? Buttons? Buttons are definitely something. Signs. Signs are huge. I think a sign could be better here if we did. Even something like that to add a little more depth. Or even the trapdoor right there. But then that kind of covers it up more than we would like. Oops. And then it kind of starts floating right there. Alright, we can do this. And then this could kind of be the end of our pier right here. And later on, I don't think today we could add our boat there. But yeah, I don't think today. I think today the big focus probably going to be on the pier itself and maybe what kind of shops reside on the pier itself. And then we focus a little bit less on... I didn't make this the same length. Oh, that's annoying. Alright. Real quick, real quick. Move. Look at this pro gamer. Hello. Hey, actually, hi. How are you? It's been so long. But yeah, we are building away right now. I'm excited. I'm just happy right now to be back in Minecraft. It has been so long. Do we do it on this side? No, I don't think on the outside. I think on the inside though, the signs are good. Busy, busy. Yeah, same here. That's quite alright. That's how it is. But anyways, yeah, this is coming along. I'm a fan. And what I'm thinking is that we start building it out around to kind of wrap around the place. And or even actually what would be smarter, I think, is to have it so that it goes downstairs here and we could go up here, and that way it's like we're expecting the sea level to rise. It's obviously, you know, in Minecraft that doesn't happen, but I think it's a good thing to add like that kind of story to the builds. That's something I'm very interested in when it comes to building, is giving another dimension to it. There's like reasoning for it to be there. It's not just cool builds that are there for the sake of them being cool. There's some lore, I guess you could say, behind it. I wouldn't say lore, I would say just that there's a little more than what you might expect. And I think we kind of just start with the bare bones of it, and then we build our way up. Mostly work, because I groom dogs now and also got a cat and a boyfriend. Well, congrats on everything. It sounds like things are going mostly well, which I'm very happy to hear. That does sound really good, actually. You got your job, your animals, your significant other. That's good. Me, it's same old right now. I do have a job. I do have my pets, my lovely animals, and my sister just got a dog, so we have a dog in the house now also. So things are going well here too. Look at this guy. I love the Mooshrooms. Your cat's name is Kruger? That's funny. I don't know why. Kruger? That's a funny name for a cat. That's good. I like that. Alright. I think I need to decide which way like how this is gonna work. Should go along the edge? I feel like that makes sense. It should be kind of like scraggly, not like always on the edge, not like directly, but just on the inside of it. And it could lead up to somewhere. I think that's a good plan, for now at least. Yeah, we have 4 cats in our household, and we got 1 dog. So, we're pretty filled up at the moment. Can barely handle the kitten. Animals are so much. Yeah, they're a lot. They're so cool though. I love pets. I love having pets. I don't know, animals are just so much fun. I think it'd be cool to have the lighthouse up here. And it matches because it's next to the pier. Lighthouse there, pier there. And then we could start building out like the beach area and kind of that part of it in terms of like scenery. I think that's good. And then up here we could have a bunch of little stands and shops, and this will be like the little port that greets you as you're on your way in from being out at sea. I think that's a very nice idea. And then we could start making some custom mushrooms and stuff. I like the idea of that. Rather than just the default big blocky square guys, which are lovely already, but I feel like there's room for improvement, and I'm that guy. Yeah, we'll fix up the stairs later. I think for right now, we'll just replace the rest of this, actually. And we're gonna start building the shops. I think that's a good start. Just make it a little lively. Kruger is... We just recently got a 75-inch, and Kruger loves to jump up behind it and paw at it. And we're like, do not knock it over. Dang. Yeah, cats are so curious by nature. Cats are crazy. They're not like dogs. Dogs like will not get up onto things like cats will. Cats, they're more like I don't know. They're just able to get to more places that dogs can't. They can cause so much more trouble, and they have the capability. Alright. I think we start with some stands. Maybe just some stands like on the beach as you're like passing by. Or on the, not on the beach, up here though. I think we gotta expand this a little bit. I think if we start just expanding and then building our things, then we could begin making our little shops and markets. I think a fish market, definitely. I think, I don't know. And oh my god, this cat. Yeah, I'm liking this a lot already. That's okay. Yeah, this is mostly decoration. Carpet. Oh, and we'll have to do the string thing also. I forget about that. Carpet doesn't just float. Probably shouldn't have gotten rid of my sign though. Alright, here we go. And then we can make it like a pattern. Ta-da! Stand number 1. What was that noise? Was that him? Hello? Hello? Beautiful. We got him a covered litter box and he was fine until he decided he didn't know how to use it and decided to pee on the floor. Animals, I don't know. There's my sister's been having similar troubles with her dog right now. She likes to pee all over the place. The dog, not my sister. Yeah, she just doesn't care. Like, if the door's open, she doesn't know how to, like, ask to use the restroom, I guess. She doesn't know how to, like, whine or bark or just, like, wait at the door or anything. Which is something we didn't have any issue with our previous dog. He didn't bark or anything, but he would just sit at the door. He'd just, like, sit. Imagine there's, like, a glass sliding door, and he'd just, like, look back, like... And then eventually someone would notice and be like, yo, he has to go outside. And, yeah, we had no issues with him. He wouldn't bark or anything, which was, like... That's kind of annoying, because you're like, oh, well, how are we supposed to help you out here? But... we would take notice eventually, and, you know, he was a good boy. We love him. Oh, I don't know how I feel about that. There we go. I like that. And then you could have your cake supply in here. Ta-da! Nice. Alright, look at that. That's a cute little stand. It's very simple, but I like it. And then we'll have lots of other little stands dotted along the way. I use bells on the door and teach the dogs to ring the bells. That's really cool, actually. I like that a lot. That's wise. That's actually so smart. I like those ones where they have the dogs, where they give them, like, buttons and stuff. Those freak me out. Because I'm like, those dogs, they're sentient. They know. And, like, how many other animals are like this? How many animals can communicate things to us if we just, like, give them a means to communicate? It freaks me out. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that. I feel like there should be, like, a big grand thing here. Like, welcome to the wharf or something. Welcome to the pier. Should be, like, a big thing here. Oh, wait, we have stairs, don't we? Oh, I've got stairs in my inventory. I don't know what I'm doing. Full disclosure, I don't know what I'm doing. Kinda looks ugly. Oh, I haven't built it wrong. How did I do that? Where did I get all the glass? Wait, when did that happen? I just had a bunch of glass. Ooh. Potty training. It's really easy, like when I would take them out, I would ring the bells and they'd associate that with going to the bathroom. That's smart. I never thought about it like that, but like it's kind of the classic one where the guy teaches the dogs to salivate by ringing the bell every time he feeds them. Right? It makes sense. The dogs learn there's an association with it. These were kind of turning into like the gates you see in Japan. Need to figure out how to finish the top part. Come on. I feel like we're so nearly there. Maybe if it was wider. And then it's, look, that's kind of, that's almost nice. It's like a banner. That's almost nice, dude. How do I fix this? You're training the cat too? Pavlov? That's what it was. Pavlov. Classic. We never really trained any of our cats. We just kind of let them do their own thing. Like, a lot of the time, they're not even in the house. They like to go and explore outside, which we're fine with. They know where home is. None of them have died. They're all pretty capable. And they don't even all want to go outside. There's some of them that just like being indoors all the time, and that's fine. They're free to do as they please. I like it on the side. I don't know about this in the middle. Currently training the cat for baths. I tried bathing my cat once and he poked so many holes in like the curtains and stuff. I was like, never again. That's the end of that. Forever. Who even needs a clean cat? They'll take care of it. They know what they're doing. Oh wait, I got rid of the wrong side. Whoopsies. Whoopsies. Here, let's just get these out of the way. There we go. A much clearer scene. Kruger's fine with it. He actually likes the water. Cause he's weird. What a little weirdo. What a little scamp, dude. That is odd for a cat, I feel like. That is, yeah, that's a little bit odd. A little bit odd for a cat, but it's fine. I broke the cake. Oh, God. 1 second. There we go. That's what I wanted. I want the smoker under it. It's freshly baked. They're keeping it warm. I feel like banners could be really good here, but I would like. It'd be nice if I could get it to say something, but this is so limited. Like, how many characters is that? You get 6 letters. What do we put here? Six letters to write something. We'll figure it out, I'm sure. But yeah, we can start filling it up with shops, which is the part I'm excited about. But yeah, this part could start going like backwards back here. This doesn't go up for very long, does it? No, we could cut that off pretty easily. And it could go out and lead somewhere onto the main parts of the island. Oh well. I did the wrong one too. Yeah. We don't really bathe our cats. They just kind of get stinky. Oh, this whole thing is... Oh, cool. Okay, well, at least I caught it now that this whole thing is uneven. So we could have 7 letters. What are our thoughts? What do we call this place? This Mooshroom Wharf type place. Yeah, that's even. Alright, cool. Cool. Alright, and then I feel like just going with the whole thing straight backwards is good, and we'll kind of fix the landscape to match this. Oh. And then here, we could actually do something fun here. This is something I like to do with floors like this when you're doing lots of the same pattern. When you're doing lots of one type of block on, specifically with wood. When you're doing lots of wooden floors, you just grab a couple of stripped logs and throw them in there to just add some texture to it. It's not as plain. It's just, I feel like it adds a lot. And then, yeah, you get a little bit more out of it that way. See? I like it. It's also a little bit greener. You could use that as like it really depends on what you want to do with it, but you could use it to say like it's a little bit mossier maybe if you put it a lot more like down here, for instance. We can't here because we're using slabs, but just, you know, you got options. It's fun to play around with the blocks, see what you could do. I don't like this. Oh, this is a pattern. Yeah, I don't like this. Not one bit. Yeah, we gotta fix that. That's better, I guess. You could also have some of them just like trail off, and then that's good too. Okay, better. It's just when it's a pattern like how it just was, you could really tell with it, and it's not good. You could tell, and it just looks bad. But anyways, I like this. We've got our little bakery stand here as our first one. I think that's very nice for sailors to come home to. But yeah, I think we just continue on this way. Maybe our main shops aren't even on the pier, but they're like going down this way, kind of this main road. And then we just got a few stands trailing off until you get to like the lighthouse up here. I think that's good too. If we start like terraforming the beach area. Here, we could even just get rid of everything and just... The way I like to terraform beaches is I like to make them like real nice and flat, and just so they look nice, and then just cover them in sand. Because sand is such a good looking block compared to dirt and clay and stuff under the water. And then you could kind of just cover up the entire thing. And I am very obsessive about this, so for me this is something I'll do like the whole way down basically, which is a lot, admittedly, but it does add a lot. And then eventually I would probably have this turn into like stone. And the stone we could even add texture to by mixing it with andesite, which I really like. Like this could be a big jagged rock spike here. And I think that would look very nice, very fitting. Maybe just like that, and then you could replace a few parts in it with andesite. And then yeah, you could have a nice rocky sandy beach. And that's probably as far as I would go with the sand. And then after that you could start, I feel like I want the landscape to kind of arch out more. And then we could have our lighthouse kind of like on a ledge. So maybe we flatten this a little bit more. And then we start working on our stone more than anything. We could start another big rock out here. And this, it doesn't matter really that there's nothing underneath it. To me, it doesn't. We're gonna have a lot more here in the end anyways. Like, there's gonna be more sand underneath. It's not, this isn't something I would worry about. Like, just a little bit of this and we're good. Oops. And I just prefer doing it this way anyways, because when you do it like this, you're not going to see the underneath. You're not going to have to fill it all up with sand. Because as a gravity block, that gets super annoying. And then maybe we just add like a couple areas where it like dips. A couple areas where it protrudes and dips, and it just looks a little bit more natural that way. Even if it's very man-made, you know, it looks more natural, and that's kind of the point. But anyways, the sand isn't a big focus for me, not right now. I'll finish this up kind of a little bit. We'll get a little bit more of it done, and then we'll move on to trying to do the actual cliffside part. This is something I wanted to do as like a multi-part series, I think. Just kind of getting ideas from people, maybe on TikTok and Instagram in like comments, and then kind of building it together. Like already, I think with the stones poking out and the sand, like it is already a much nicer looking beach. And then we could start building out our basic wall shape here, and then kind of just try and follow that a little bit. Like that, something like that. And then we could get some stalactites, stalagmites in there maybe. But I think the biggest point right now is just getting rid of all the dirt. The dirt does not look good. Mycelium, it's cool for being a unique block, I think, but it's pretty ugly. Like objectively, I think it's pretty rough. But I don't think it's without merit. I think there's a lot of good to it if you kind of know what you're doing and have a plan with it. Yeah, and I don't know how I want to do this. And we should probably find some middle ground between the stone and the sand. That's a little bit rough. This is like a big terraforming thing. Maybe gravel. Let's look at what we have when it comes to sand. Sandstone can be helpful, at least to get some texture in. Gravel maybe. Or even, oh, concrete powder? That could actually be very, very nice, I think. And then in some of these spots over here also. I think the gravel looks more natural. Maybe the dark gray. Oops. Oopsies. Nope. Definitely not. That's a little bit too much. Maybe the gravel just lowered down. And then as we get higher, we kind of see more of the concrete powder. I think it's fine, the top being all stone. We'll just kind of figure this out as we go along. But, yeah, it's alright. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about all this. I feel like it's better with the stone. Maybe we just mix the andesite into it. So instead of doing all that, we could just replace everything that we've changed out for the andesite. And then potentially we could add like buttons onto the beach. Buttons are a good little detail block. I feel like it just blends in way better, you know? It just looks a lot better. Which is kind of the idea. No, not there. Way too out in the open. And then just a couple blocks here and there. And then more sand. Yeah, and sorry I'm silent a lot. It is just a lot of thinking for me. But I enjoy building. But yeah, you got a lot of a nicer beach look, I think. And I think what makes it better is if we go to the settings and fix the... what is it? No! It's somewhere in video settings. Quality, maybe? Details. Biome blend. Just make it like 5 by 5. And then the water just looks slightly better like that. But yeah, I definitely think sandy beaches are going to be a lot better than the mycelium ones. And I don't think it's super unbelievable to have a sandy beach in a mycelium biome. I don't think that's a bad thing by any means. I definitely like the idea of the stones in the water. I think a big fat stone right here could be good. Something like that. And then we go through and do a little andesite thing. Yeah. And then you kind of get a couple different levels of that. I don't know, it just looks a lot better. And then we could start moving around the island, getting our sand all over the place. But for right now, maybe just start bringing the mycelium on top of this. And we'll get our lighthouse on top eventually. I don't know how I'm gonna do this, but I'm hoping I could pull it off. I feel like we need more of a natural cutoff point, I think, for this little cave type thing, this little dome we're doing here. Maybe it just needs to go a little bit higher here. All around, and then we could start trying to get that natural curvature for here. And then on top of this, we start laying down the mycelium, and it just looks a little bit more natural that way. And I also think rooted dirt could look very nice right here if we get, yeah, the roots. Ooh, think of it. Imagine it. Think about it. What happened to the roots? Not rot. Root. Where'd they go? Imagine, because look, it matches really nicely with the dirt. I think if you do some of the dirt hanging over it, and then you kind of imagine that's like going through it. I don't think that's bad. I think just a little bit more in the right areas and it could be really good, actually. And then, you know, we'll fix the mycelium later. We'll make it look nicer on top, and we'll make it look better all around, I think. But I think that's good. I think that's really good, actually. I think just finding that natural curvature shape that it's gonna be making is just a good enough start for it. And we gotta get rid of this mushroom. This is right in our way, right in our path. Just destroy the whole thing. Right, so it kind of curves out that way, and then we could begin to curve it back inwards. Might be a little too tall. Yeah, that's too tall. At least for what we've done already. And then we could line basically all of the inside of this with the stone. There's a little patch of dirt, but I think this is good. What the hell? Where's the audio? Well, if you recall, Ezekiel, hi, by the way. It's been a minute since I've looked over. We plugged in my audio jack to the big PC, so I can't hear what's happening in the other one. I guess I could just switch over, because there's nothing really I need to hear in Minecraft. But, that's where that is. Yeah. Well, I'm not really using the audio for anything on the other one. But, right now we're working on our little dock area, so we've got our actual dock there. We've got a little entrance to maybe a wharf type area where we could have a bunch of shops, and then a path leading up to what's going to be a little lookout for a lighthouse. That's the plan anyways. And look, we're working on expanding our little beach area with some spiky rocks and sand in the ocean here. It's looking good. Thank you. Yeah, looking good. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, bro. But yeah, if you have any suggestions, definitely, my man, definitely talk to me. I'm here. I'm all ears right now. I'm just excited to be back in Minecraft. It's been so long for me, and I really missed it. Like, I just couldn't find the inspiration, especially on a server, and I felt so bad for the Singularity group because they're so cool. But no, I couldn't. I after losing all my files in one chunk, it was depressing. I like these. I like these little random splotches of andesite. I also think the rooted dirt is a nice touch that I need to do a little bit more of. Just to kind of give it a feel of like growth. It's not just like hanging there. One chunk was tough, yeah. Blend the rocky and dirt part but better. Rocky and dirt part. I'm assuming you mean this. Working on it. It's a work in progress. That's what we call that. We might even go a little bit higher with it, just so it could get up there, and then have the mycelium rest on top of that. And then get some more roots. When was the rooted dirt added? Rooted dirt has been added since last year. It's the mangroves. Not the mangroves, sorry, the what are the tree called? Azalea trees. These guys. Cause when you see these trees, that's a sign that there's a one of those underground biomes. Dude, I'm so behind on it. It's the lush caves. That's a sign that there's a lush cave, so you basically just follow the rooted dirt down. Haven't gotten super into it in a while. No, I'm right there with you, dude. I'm right there. Like right now they have all this mangrove stuff they just added. What? That's not how you spell that. Like all this stuff. And it's just beyond me right now. And they've got like frogs. I haven't even looked at the frogs. Oh my god. Come on now. They've got tadpoles. Frog spawn. Hold on a gosh darn minute. Where do I put these? Oh! What? Is it gonna be like... Oh, you can't step on them. Which is good. Hella different trees. Yeah. It's wild. Dude, is this gonna make tadpoles, by the way? Yeah, I remember when it was oak and birch. For real, huh? Spruce was added at the same time, though. It was 3. The big 3. It was just oak, and then they added the birch and the spruce. Takes you back, though, right? I feel like this needs to go out more. Just like me, it needs to go out more. Oh yeah. We don't like spruce. What? Was always the black sheep? I like spruce. There's spruce on the docks. This is all spruce. Look how beautiful it looks. Wow. Ooh, spruce. Ain't nothing wrong with spruce. All my homies love spruce. This is a big terraforming project. I didn't realize that that was going to be so much of it. Also, I could never get into building. I love building, Ezekiel. I don't think you understand. Building is so much fun. You should get into building. Everyone should. It's so much fun. I think the best part is just like you're looking back on like hours of work and you're like, God damn, that looks good. You know, you're just like, you see it all finally coming together. I think that's the best part. I think a big just a big, large space to work with is going to be the best for up here. Just a huge plateau for me to build the lighthouse on. And then we just fill this in and we'll make it look a little more natural underneath rather than just this giant floating area. Always a survival person. The dream of Minecraft building. Who, me? Who, me? Nah. That's gotta be like anyone on Hermitcraft. I look up to those people when it comes to building. They're so talented. They're so, like, not even talent, but like the skill level. Like, they work for that. That's something you practice and you get better at, and they're so good at it. They make some impressive stuff. See, this is the fun part. Now we can make it oh, my mycelium. We can make it actually like so my seeds are gone. I was gonna say more mountainy. What happened to my tadpoles? Where did they go? We can spawn a frog. Look at him. Oh, he's adorable. They just eat whatever. Look at his legs. He's so unnatural. He does not look like he belongs in Minecraft. Oh, hey, buddy. He's so cute. Look at him. Oh, he's wonderful, dude. He said, what is MMB? The letters MMB? Middle mouse button? You don't need to do control for that. You just click middle mouse button. I guess. This guy. You're funny. You're funny. Thank you, though. That's actually funny. I appreciate the tip, though. feel like I kind of have ADHD when it comes to building. I don't want to stay focused on one part because I get bored. I usually found myself looking for blocks I was just using whenever I was building. Yeah, that's true. Like, you only get the 9 slots and then you kind of fill them up with whatever. And then at a certain point you're like, oh, I need more now, so you're just kind of looking around. You'll pick out your different blocks, but then you need a block you used earlier and you're like, oh, well, there, or, you know, whatever. Oh, that's something I already used. I could just have it right now. Oh, that makes it look way more unnatural. It's a fine line to walk, I guess. Yeah, I find this part to be very tough, but I also find it very worth it. I don't know, it's weird. You just want it to look natural. You don't want it to look weird, and it kind of looks weird. Gotta do some work? Alright. Thank you for lurking, I appreciate it. I'll see you around. Hoo! I'm so hydrated. Plays outro music. That'd be kind of fire. If you just be like, alright guys, I'm out of here, and then the outro music starts. Alright guys, I'll catch you all in the next one. I don't know how the outro music goes, unfortunately. Maybe just make this dirt at first, and then we figure it out. I guess this part could just be dirt, but it is a little bit odd. I don't know. We just kind of cover it up. It's probably better than it was before. I don't know. I really don't know with this. I feel a little bit lost. I don't think landscaping is really my thing. I do like doing it with the beaches, but that's also very easy in comparison to like everything else I'm doing. Like making random rocks in the sand and stuff, that's easy. That's baby stuff, but this is a different beast. I'm kind of a fan of it though. It does work. I don't know. It's weird. I have very mixed emotions about this. I could use some help. But anyways, the lighthouse goes up top. The path is leading up to it. Everything's looking good. Happy so far. How much space do I have up here even? Because it's gotta be... like, this is the general circle shape that I use. Yeah, it's kind of not big enough. Maybe if I go a few blocks in more. Just here. It needs to be like at least this size, I would say. Yeah. Oh. There we go, circle. Jeez, that's way bigger than I thought it would be. So, a new dilemma. It needs to be bigger up top. But it probably shouldn't just be surrounding that. It just needs to be this big, like, mountainous thing. And again, we're gonna have to fix the landscaping underneath to match it. This is fine though. We're gonna end up replacing the floor anyways for this, because it'll be lighthouse floor instead of just like stone or mycelium. So we don't really have to do a floor necessarily. We just kind of need to do the floor around it. Right, and then we'll fill it in and we'll kind of bridge the gap here. So that part's kind of done now. This is... This part does get tougher, I won't lie to you. This part should definitely be a little more of an in-between area, rather than the rest of it at the sides here. At the sides here, I feel like it should go like more straight down, like a proper mountain. But over there, it should be a little more gradual, so we could make our little bridge area. I heard the frog somewhere. Where is he? Look how high they could jump! Oh my goodness, he got up here no problem. They're so cute. Oh, I love them. Something like that. That looks natural. I'm a fan of it. I like it. So now comes the tougher part, I guess. Now we got to kind of bridge the gap from underneath. And then, yeah, this part is tougher. And you have to make it look natural as well. It looks like this is odd. Something like that, hopefully. I don't know. I'm really just trying to throw it together as I go along. It's not so bad. This is like a very square edge, however. And that doesn't work. I think my biggest issue is it doesn't look like much of a mountain or a hill or anything. It just kind of like slopes upward slightly. Like I'd love it to be a little bit more dramatic. Like it should really go down. We could fix that. Already, I think this is a huge improvement. I've barely gotten a look at it, but I think it's gonna be way better like this already. Yeah, I think we just keep going with it. And then eventually, you know, we kind of meet the beach level, and from there we could figure it out. But yeah, it's a little... that's way better. No, that's way better. Little changes like that. It makes an enormous difference, definitely. Maybe the sand... I think we've pushed the sand up a little bit, actually. Just so we could let this be as dramatic as it wants to be. I feel like I heard a drown. And then more dirt. It's a little bit questionable, but... I think it's better. I don't know. It's tough. Hard to tell. Maybe a big fat jagged rock in the middle. That'll solve all our issues. Better. We're getting there. We're getting places, alright? This is still tough. But we are making progress. We could start with our wooden stuff up here. Oh. I feel like we could have our entrance be like around this side of it. I think that. That's good. Have it come out like a little bit more from this way. And maybe even actually more from over here. And then yeah, now we'll start with these guys. Oh, and actually, you know what? Because we're doing it like steps up, we should grab some slabs. Better, better, better. Big improvements all around. Now we start with these guys. Everything's looking lovely. Lovely as can be. Nice. I'm a fan of that. I think it's a good little stairway up. We've got our little beach going on. That's getting started. Dock's looking good. And we could start a lighthouse if we wanted to. I kind of wanted to model it off of the old one that I made. I don't know. That one, I put so much into it. That was a lot of effort. I might just save that until another time or do it honestly while not on screen because it's just that much, and it'd probably be boring to watch me do a one-to-one recreation of it. For now, we could continue on the beach and stuff, I suppose. I also don't think it would be bad to get started on the town, but I don't have any real concrete ideas on where to go with, and like in terms of shops. Here, this actually needs to get built way, way up here. Oh, they're fish. Dude, I was like, what are these things? These like, I thought it was like a part of an octopus tentacle or something. I'm like, what is this creature I've come across? It's just a bunch of tropical fish, dude. But look at that. Look how good the water looks. Tell me that doesn't look like 10 times better. It looks fantastic. The only problem is it goes off like so far. Like we honestly need like a Finding Nemo drop off at this point. Because it's just too much. There's too much area to cover with it. It's annoying. Goes into like proper depths of the ocean. I kind of want to build a trail of like rooted dirt kind of leading downwards. Then we could kind of just have it scoop diddy scoop out, go back in a couple places. Yeah, maybe we get started on the lighthouse. I was very proud of that old lighthouse, but might be time to move on. I think I'll be very inspired by it, but probably it's time to move on. So, what are we thinking of when it comes to the inside? Definitely, I liked having the spruce floors and the sandstone on the walls. I think a very nice, like, Okay, like this and this for the floor. I like how we've been doing, kind of. I think it's gonna be really good with green carpet in a few places. Definitely will want white stained glass panes for the windows. I like the idea of the cut sandstone for like the walls, but I don't want it for the entirety of it. Like, I think just that being like a trim on the bottom would be cool. And then we could have something else as the actual proper wall of the building. Bookshelves would be good decoration. Well, I feel like the inside comes later though. Definitely that is like a secondary thing. I don't know. Maybe we just get started and just kind of figure it out. I remember by the end of it, the top was like this 3x3 thing. So I feel like we kind of want to... No, I think this is a good starting size. We just kind of... I don't think I'm going to do a staircase on the inside this time. I did that last time. It turned out okay. There was nothing wrong with it. I just feel like it's going to be better with this in mind. Okay, here we go. So this is the part I was talking about before where it didn't really matter us filling in the middle with mycelium because we're going to replace the floor anyways. At this point, it's probably better to just get rid of the entire floor and then start it with the spruce wood. But that's kind of what I meant with that, is you don't really need to care about what the floor is going to be naturally if you're going to replace it with something afterwards. Yeah, there we go. And then, again, we add our details with the spruce logs. And then, any patterns we find, we kind of want to cut out, make it look a little bit more random, natural. But for the most part, I think that's going to be pretty good in the end. It's alright. You're mostly going to be seeing it from this angle. I think it works out. But not there. I think right here. Some big tall glass windows. Probably some 3x3 windows are gonna work best. And they're invisible. That's awesome. So fun. But it's whatever. It don't matter that much. We're gonna figure it out. And then from here, and the last one I did, I had this little room that came off to the edge. I like the idea of that. I want to continue it, I think. And then this is a room where we could have the bookshelves residing in. I'm pretty conflicted right now, actually. I don't want to use any type of sandstone for the walls, but I also don't know what other blocks that I would use for that. Maybe just bricks, but I feel like bricks really doesn't work for this. I feel like it doesn't make any sense. Frog lights. What the hell are frog lights? That's so odd. Okay. That's something to keep in mind, definitely. Maybe darker bricks? I don't know, I feel like I don't want it to be a very dark build. And that doesn't, no, it don't match. It just doesn't. That's better, but not great. Especially with, like, this. No. No. Maybe backwards, with the dark one as the trim block and the light one as kind of the main wall block. I don't know. It's a very weird combo. We could continue on going with the wood, but it doesn't make any sense to me. It shouldn't be wood. It shouldn't be that kind of brown color. Maybe white? Because for the top part, we're going to be using things like diorite, definitely. What else do we use? White concrete, probably. And what else? Calcite, I believe. Because they've kind of got a pattern of dark to light, which is what I took advantage of last time. I feel like that's kind of this. The darker to the lighter ones. Are they in order already? They are, kind of. But I also don't want a poopy diorite colored thing. Jesus, come on. There's an answer here. I just need to find it. Maybe even oxidite. Hello? Copper? Maybe it's copper. Maybe copper is our answer. Maybe it's not, then again. These are definitely only going to be too tall, I'm realizing. It doesn't work. Oh, those were, excuse me, those were cut though. Maybe it's better if they're not cut and also if they're orange. Wax block of copper. It's bold, I'll give it that. It is definitely bold. Both of them, really. Maybe I just build it out and then use commands to replace the blocks. And that way we could test out a lot of different things and get some more options, essentially. This is something I do like. This part is more fun. This is like decorating, basically. You get to come up here and basically just decide, oops, what the windows are gonna look like. And I don't recall how I did it before either. That part feels right. It's just the rest of this. It's kind of tough. I think that part feels the most right because it kind of feels like blinds. Or not blinds, but like you would open the windows like that. It feels natural that way. I think probably just stairs, maybe. Keep it simple. We could do that. Oh. This one's only got one by nature. We'd have to move that. Better. Better, better, better. Alright. I'm happier with that. I like it a lot more. We could start adding it to these sides also. And also the color is growing on me. I don't know if it'll stay, but I think it's a little bit better than I gave it credit for. We just, once again, we're gonna test some things out and probably we'll end up changing it. But it's not the worst thing in the world. I like those. I like probably fences on the sides. I think that's a good detail to add. I don't know, it's... Yeah, I don't know. Those are just really nice to have, I think. And then we could kind of make a little bit of an awning. So it comes over and it brings shade. And then for here... Oh, this is tough. It's really uneven. But, could get it figured out. Yeah. And then have it come out here and provide some shade. Now I remember in the original I definitely used stone bricks and like red concrete up here. I don't know if I'll end up with the stone bricks still, because I kind of phased that out. But we'll see. We will see. Maybe just... Definitely needs to be higher if it's gonna be like that. That way it pops out. And you could see it from the sides that way. There you go. There's your reasoning. There's your facts, your logic. Maybe it shouldn't. That is super tall. What we can do instead is have it on this level and then use slabs instead of stairs. Better, 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 better. Alright. So now comes the job of basically doing what I just did, but on every other part of it, which shouldn't be too bad, especially considering I've already got a lot of it laid out, and especially with this, since, you know, since it's round, essentially, we've got a little bit more space to work with, like, not that we have more space to work with, sorry, just since it's round, we'll mostly be doing a bunch of copying. Just copy and paste all over this. And then this side is going to be the big outlier, kind of. But we can try and match it up. Oh, these ones are farther in. I didn't realize that. Yeah, that is kind of the outlier one then. But that's fine. It doesn't really matter for what we're doing. This is probably the part where these come in. Presumably. Because then you get to this bit up here. Ta-da! That's actually not bad. And for the time being, we'll just leave these guys in there and go back outside to fix this up. So I think just... maybe the side should just be red. Here, we should grab some coordinates. What block is this? Waxed oxidized copper. And then we'll go up to like here. Did I not copy it? No! Come on. Oh, that's very annoying. But just like there should be fine. There we go. Fill that. We are going to place, I believe the one that we are replacing goes first. So, waxed oxidized copper, I believe, replaces, nope, so I did do that wrong. That's fine, that one could stay there. So what do we, red concrete, replace that. And we will copy it in case we messed up, but we did not. Oh, but we did. What is this? This isn't red concrete, it's red terracotta. Okay. Red terracotta replaces red concrete. Boom. Perfect. And probably we'll replace this top stuff with the stone. I think the stone is growing on me a lot more as we've added it to the top. It's I think it looks a lot better than it did, at least. And this one we'll do by hand. There's no issue with that. Might be easier to do it from the inside. I like the trim on the bottom. Oh, this part didn't get replaced. How odd. How odd indeed. So we've got one in the middle. That works, I think. And then that. And we've kind of got the balcony covering the bottom part, so it looks fine. But then we've got this, which... that doesn't really work. because it's covered on the other side. So, how do we fix this? Yeah, I think that's a lot better. Oh, I dropped the slab. Oh, here we go. It's coming along. I don't know. It's this bottom half that's the big issue. It is very rough looking. Like the slabs, they definitely help, but then you kind of get this big part down here, which is not very appealing. It's not good looking. You know what might look good? Here's the old campfire trick. You just grab one of these bad boys and a shovel. Make sure your caps lock is on for some reason. Just place down like a million of these. And the animation is off. I think that's done on purpose by the I think it's just the settings I have for it. Boom. Oh, some of them were placed sideways. That's odd. Yeah. Nah, but look at that. That's actually, that looks so good. I think it's another thing with settings. Maybe I could get it with, what is it, Better Minecraft or Minecraft, it's the one that Exasuma used to do, but I don't remember the name of it. Or Shishwami, or I don't know. Exuma. Where you could basically turn this off. But anyways, I think it's alright. It looks fine. We could replace a couple of them with the trapdoors. Or maybe spruce slabs even. We could just grab some. There. And yeah, you know, we'll get rid of the ash later on. That's very much a post-production type of thing. I don't know, this is feeling very red in here. I don't know how I like it. Bookshelves, definitely huge. Very cute. Put a little thinking chair in here. Maybe a birch. With the spruce signs. I think that's nice. And then this is kind of the fun part. I think we're gonna start building up. We will, I think, revisiting this, or maybe even, oh, the signs would be cool, but then you can't like double it up. Like I can't place one here. Oh, that'd be such a neat solution. Maybe? Did I find something? More fences? That's it. We didn't have enough fences. That's what it was. Of course! Of course. Not enough fences. Duh. There. I think that's actually way better. God, it's so genius. Alright. It kind of... Oh, we struggle a little bit, but... we are... Oh, God, come on. Figuring it out. Three blocks away, and then 3 diagonally. Right? Third block. So there. And then here. How? Oh. Never mind. It's just like that. Okay. So this, I think this is way better actually. And then we kind of get that balcony feel all around every side, which is ideal. That's kind of the plan there, which I like a lot more. It's just, it's cozier. I like that a lot actually. I'm pretty proud of that. Alright, here we go. This is the fun part. It's what we were waiting for. This one is probably going to be the biggest one. 3, 4, 5, 6. How tall are we going to go with the first one? Probably like 10 max. It's probably 9. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, I think that's good for the first one. Because that is going to be the biggest one. That's where we get most of the length in the lighthouse, and because it's gonna look a lot shorter from down below, so we kind of have to fill it up in a way. Also, we could get rid of these like middle parts. Those are just gonna slow us down in the long run. And then we kind of only keep what's necessary, which is good. That's what we want to do. Alright, yeah. And the reason we're doing it so jagged at the moment, because this is a lighthouse, right? We're not... It's not going to end up staying like this, of course. It's just that, we want to change out the block palette that we're using so that we go from the darker colors on the bottom to the lighter colors on top, because that creates a little more depth in the build where otherwise there isn't any. And it makes it look taller than it is. So we could do less work, technically speaking, and get a bigger looking build out of it. It just kind of looks nicer. It's just a nice touch to have. And even that, it doesn't even look that tall at that point. I think the thing that made it look the tallest was when it was just one pillar going straight up. It looked super tall. But from here, not so much. And I think from here we start going up diagonally. And then we could start... This is where it does get complicated here, okay? I won't lie to you. The reason it does is because we're moving up diagonally, and because we're gonna start switching out the blocks we're using. We're gonna start switching the diorite for the polished diorite, because one is lighter than the other. I know, diorite looks like bird poop, but it's gonna work out, trust me. Alright, we're getting there. There we go. Last one. So I think this is a safe point to start, like, on some of these we start switching it out. I did it very mathematically before. I was like 1 per level, 2 per the next level, and I think that's pretty good. Like, just a good way of making sure it's like semi-random. And then we'll start filling up this one. I think when you have things like truly random, especially in Minecraft when you're doing it like this, it makes it, here, I don't know why I'm filling in the middle. It makes it tough to see, it's tough to feel really random. It doesn't feel random at that point anymore. Jesus. Keep missing. See, at this point, we'd have it like 2 every, like, area. Or that one. One is fine there because it's touching the bottom one. It kind of connects. But below that, just 1 mostly. The way across. And then it just feels way more natural. And on this one, I think we stick with 3 and we kind of keep it in the same area, because you do begin to run out of space a little bit. Like, it is very tough right here to make it somewhere where it's not touching the initial last place where polished diorite was placed. And then at this point, I think we start making it spike up again. And start phasing out the diorite, like, entirely. How tall is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We could do like 2 more there. I think it could be fine, and then we'll bring the rest up to it in a way, sort of how we did down here. I think 2 is still a good spot. That's still like 2 is a good number to go to for that. And then this is gonna be mostly diorite level, or polished diorite, sorry. So for now we go to like switch to diorite and do, let's look at the previous one. We were getting like 2 before. 1, 2, 1. Probably 2 is a good number to do at this point. 2 or 1. Okay, there. And then fill in the rest with the polished diorite. And then up here, 1 instead. It's coming along. I feel like we should have made it taller at the bottom, though. That's gonna be a big regret. I think the thing to do now, I don't think a problem, it's not really an issue with the blending of blocks for a little lighthouse here. I think the biggest issue is the fact that it's just not tall enough. We don't get that grand scale that we're going for. Like, if we look down here from our little path, a lot of it is blending together in a not great way. So I think getting some diorite, or some polished diorite even on this bottom part before we start going up, maybe even like another 10 blocks. Up to there. I think up to there is gonna be fine. But just finding that level of, finding that balance, I think, is important. See, now we have to kind of bridge the gap. This is the tough part. Oh, jeez. But yeah, we could start introducing the polished diorite kind of at this level, a little bit sporadically. And then kind of fill in up to here with the diorite. And then up to here, we'll go like 2 diorite per level, I think would be good. For, like, particular area. And then we fill in the rest. And then up here, we kind of skip this area since it's got diorite all over. But 3 there. Just kind of increments of 3, I guess. Oh, I don't like this one. It's a little too uniform there. And then you could have your random little spots with 1, 2. Just make it less of a pattern. Make it more, it needs to feel more random. It doesn't necessarily need to be more random. It's all about how it makes you feel. How you feel. And how much diorite are we usually getting? We're about like halfway. This is like a halfway point. I think doing a similar amount and just kind of switching up where the diorite is good for this. Shouldn't really connect. Some places it will, but other places not so much. And then up here, we start to get to mostly the polished stuff. And then we'll go back around, fill in our diorite. Maybe a little bit more. It's kind of not enough. Then up here, definitely a lot of it. Very occasionally we put in a couple pieces of diorite. And then up at the top, we're getting at like 1 diorite, maybe 2. Definitely in the next level, no more than 1 per kind of section. Up here, we'll get like 2 pieces total. And then you kind of get to an area where you're gonna have only polished diorite, and it's not gonna last very long. But for a little bit, you'll have only the polished diorite, and then we could start moving on to the white concrete. But let's take a look. Already, it's like it's a bigger improvement. I think the biggest thing at the moment is just obviously it's not spiky like how we had before. I think probably we'll end up getting the spikiness later on. We'll like add it on after, which is annoying, but it's alright. You know, we'll deal with it. Yeah, we'll add a little more, like, stuff like that later on. It's something that, it'll just have to come with time, because trying to make it, like, go from one block to another is already tough enough, and then when you start adding in stuff to do like that, I think it's a little too much to focus on at once. We'll get to it later on when we don't have to worry about the block palette as much. But it's definitely a big focus right now, so for now, you know, we keep switching it up. Oops, wrong one. And how tall are we going? We went like 20, like 18 blocks up with the first one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7. Probably closer to 15, like twice as many at the moment. I just noticed Ezekiel was here a while ago. He said it was looking good. Nope, that is too much of the same. I don't know how I feel about the concrete. I definitely didn't use that the first time, but I don't know what I used. So we may just replace that later on. Alright, and here, once again, we're starting to lose a little bit of our polished diorite, so we're going to be switching out, like how we did the first time. Just a couple pieces left. Maybe 5 pieces on this one. And then all just the white concrete. On this one, we'll have like 3. That's it. That's the whole thing. Next one, maybe 1 or 2. Probably 2. Just different areas than it was on this level. 1, 2. And then concrete for a while. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I think that's a good point to start the next area upwards. And this is actually perfect because the next one up is going to be the final one where we have our lamp at the top finally. We're gonna start introducing this guy, our calcite. Yes. That might be a bit much for the first one. But this one's not gonna last very long. It's gotta be like 10 blocks, and this is already 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Probably one more. No, not there. That is way too much for one area. That does not look smooth at all. And I should have done this already, but we gotta start moving inwards. Accidentally placed a fence. They're starting to get like invisible. 3. I think the next one 2, and then that's it. Kind of just move on. Look at that. We haven't stepped back in a minute. This is kind of fire. It's definitely, it's still got that kind of tube shape that we don't really want. We kind of want it to be like more of a like cone, but like I said, that's a post-production thing. That's not something to worry about just yet. It might be, actually it might be the perfect time to worry about that, considering we've made it the whole way up. How many blocks tall is this? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's kind of the perfect height. I'll leave it at that, I think. And then I think we start moving these guys up, like making it a little bit more jagged, I think is definitely the right way to go. Because we get a lot more of a cylindrical, not really cylindrical, it's more of a cone shape that we get out of it, which is a lot better looking for a building like this. It's kind of the more of the vibe that we're going for more than anything else. This one's a little tough. White concrete, a little bit tough to work with. Oh. Yeah, see that? Already, such an improvement. It's so much better like that. And then this, we'll just match the block that's behind it, I think, just to make things easier on ourselves. We'll, do that. Way better. Huge improvement. Look at that. That's incredible. That's incredible. Come on. Come on. That looks so good. We might switch out the blocks a little bit later, but we could do that with commands easily. The white concrete is the only thing I'm a little bit iffy about. But, no, it's really good. I'm really happy with this. So now, the big thing that we want to do is, we're going to add our big red stripe going up, but, most of all, we want to have our big thing on top, our actual lamp part. So we're gonna get, let's look in our redstone area and find observers, yes. And redstone lamps, definitely. We're gonna want, God, what am I looking for here? I don't remember the names of anything. Iron bars, definitely. White stained glass also, or maybe glass blocks would do better, I'm not sure. Nope, that wasn't, we're not done. We want stone brick, We want the slabs and the stairs. Red terracotta. So I think this is kind of the plan. It goes something like this anyway. That's the redstone input, right? So it should be like that. I might have done it wrong. The input is going into this one, so it should be like this, I think. Right? Does that make the loop? Does not. No. Oh, the one I finish on has to have the face on it, so it can't be. It has to be like one like that when I'm done. So which way is the arrow facing? So I need my first ones to be like this. That? Does that work? No. Because they're facing the wrong way. Why is this the part I'm struggling with? That should be it. Yes! Brains! Yes! Alright, and then... now comes the fun part. We gotta do it again, but upside down. So... these first ones need to be facing outwards. Is that what they're doing? No. They're facing that way. So... next one is like this. And I did something wrong, and the music is so loud in my ears. Alright. Shouldn't be so bad of a fix. Let's just do that real quick. Is that also... that's also the wrong... oh no, that's the right height. Yeah. So it's probably just the edge ones then, right? That are wrong? Right. Like that. There we go. Oh, it's going... oh my god, it's going the wrong way. Okay, hold on. No, I could fix this. Hold on. No. Which way does this go? Yeah. So... and then it doesn't turn on. Why? Why though? Wait, why? Is it like this? Oh, not like that. Last one. Should be it. Hey! The timing is almost there. If I just like move it slightly, like turn it off. And this is just some guesstimation, really. We could use redstone to actually make it like accurate, but where's the fun in that? Does that work? Does it work? Definitely gotta cover this stuff up. Thoughts? It's okay. I think just white stained glass is the way to go. Just cover it up like right on the base of it and then use the iron bars on the outside. Better. Very cute looking. Much better. Just gotta, actually there's not all that much left to it. This is a thing right here, definitely, but it's, not so bad. And then for that, it's a little goofy, I don't know. It's not the worst, but I think it could be better. Maybe just cover it up with like a trapdoor or something. Oh. Oh, and I just thought about it, but no, it doesn't even get affected by the actual redstone of it, so that's pretty neat. Look at that. These are crazy, these mangrove ones. They're cool looking, I like them. Look at that! There's the top of our little lighthouse. Look at this thing, that's insane. I love it, I'm happy with it. It is enormous, by the way. So now comes the part where we kind of get our red stripe going the whole way up, our giant candy cane part. And I feel like there's definitely not as many options for red as there are white. Which isn't to say there are no options. Definitely red concrete and terracotta we'll use. Other than that though, what else is there? What else can we use? I don't think red wool is the way to go. Maybe pink terracotta. Concrete? We could use concrete. Oh, that's... I'm stupid, sorry. Oh, God. That's what that is. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. For now, this is all I've got. Just terracotta into a darker color of the red concrete. I feel like I kind of want it to, I'll kind of want to have an idea of where this is going to go before I actually start placing it. Because we don't want it. That actually, right there, looks pretty good. I think we've got it in a pretty good spot already. I think if we vaguely follow this outline, we'll be in a good spot. I think the problem is these get like way closer to each other as you go up. Maybe it's better to start off with like 3 or 4 on the bottom every like couple of blocks, and then make your way to 3 or 2, because as the blocks get closer together, it starts to wrap around itself much faster, and it just doesn't look as even as you might prefer. We could also do it rather than a stripe in little segments of red instead. I don't remember how I did it the first time I made a lighthouse, but there's definitely more than one option. I'll say every like 4 blocks. Oops. And then the second it starts to staircase a little bit, we'll go down to 3. That's not bad on spacing though, to be honest with you. Here, we could start going to 3 right here. Just to try and keep it even. And then right here we could start doing every 2 blocks. Again, in the attempts to make it even-ish with what came before it. That is not bad. You know what? I really love that actually. I think that is a really good look. All we need to do is get rid of the ones on the outside and start placing it in, and then make it a little bit thicker. Which it sounds like a tall order, but it's really not. It's really just doing a lot of this. And I'm thinking like 3 blocks thickness-ish should be good. And I'm gonna leave that alone for now because I do not know what to do with it yet. This is odd. See, this is how you know I put Oh, I was gonna say I put too much in one spot, but not necessarily. Maybe at this point we just switch it to the next one. So every time we see that, we just switch it out for one of these instead. And we should see it stay consistent in like little groups of 3. 1, 2, 3, so up there. This is our next group of 3. Oop. Observers, that's what I wanted. Oh, I haven't gotten higher. That's what we're missing. And we've started falling off base a little bit with our pattern, but it could be thicker. I think that's the big thing right now. Let's go through and add another layer at the bottom before we continue. How many is that? There's 3. 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. This one should not be it. There's 3, 3. There's 3. Herm. 3, 1, 2, 3. This is wrong. There we go. I don't know. I feel odd. I feel weird about this. I feel like the colors aren't right. May go through and change them up. At what point did we switch from 4 back to 3 though? Here? Why don't we go up here? Is that right? That seems wrong. I made this very complicated for myself. Yeah, this should be higher. 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And this one. Then up here. And so on and so forth. There we go. Fixed it. At this point, we should be switching to 2. Alright. That's not so bad. So instead of going up more here... No, instead we go up earlier here. That's what I'm trying to say. And now we get to another problem. I guess I could grab the red wool for the time being, and oh, we are gonna have to figure this one out as we go along. Nope, that ain't it. The wool. Wool is next. This is very odd. This is a weird project. I don't really know what I'm doing. I definitely feel like I just did stripes the last time I did this instead of just one giant candy cane looking thing. Oh, and it was 2 up there still, and 3 here. So what was it down here? 4? God. Doing it as one big stripe really makes it incredibly difficult. But I'm committed at this point. I could always go back. It's very hard to draw the line at where I'm even at and what I'm doing. And see, now I need another red. Ah, it's so tough. Like, what else is there? This is not the order either. I'm not a fan. Do not like this. First of all, let's get rid of all this, right? That's a step in the right direction, I think. Alright, we're gonna find our own way up. And secondly, we're gonna use a temporary fix. We're gonna just put the terracotta back in. Oh, what? This should go... Oh, this one is wrong. Okay. This is crazy. So... Thought I just heard my phone buzz. What am I replacing here? This. Nah, this ain't right. 1, 2, 1, 2. So odd. Sorry, it is just, I know I'm being really quiet here. It is really tough to find out where I'm drawing the line on some of these. On what's getting destroyed and what's staying. Did I switch? What am I doing? What am I doing? I'm back on wool? What am I doing? Oh, it should not be concrete up here. Oh. No. That's why it's weird. Okay, better. Why is the music so loud? I feel like I'm going crazy here. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. This is driving me insane. For sure. Like, definitely. Ta-da! The wool does not go. Terracotta at the cop, definitely. I feel like instead of having it change from like 4 different colors, because that's really tough, I feel like definitely 2. I think 2 is the way to go. Maybe 3. Maybe we could get away with doing the 3, but it's just hard to be like which one's lighter, which one's darker. Like from here, what's lighter and what's darker? Because it can't stay in the order that it's in. It doesn't work. Wool definitely seems to be the lightest. I would say terracotta is the darkest. It's definitely the most neutral. I like terracotta. I like the look of it a lot. So maybe on the bottom half. Maybe on the bottom half, we just get rid of the terracotta and put the concrete down. And we kind of just... If we do that, that's kind of the only thing that we'll have to do. Let's do that. Let's grab some coordinates, you know. Let's do this. Hold on. I want to teach you guys a little bit of magic today. I'm going to use something very magical called the fill command. It's a very lovely thing, and you'll be happy to know how to use it. We're going to look down, /fill. It's going to do the block that we're standing on, or looking at. I actually don't remember. Control-Shift, left arrow, Control-C. And that's basically just copied that. And then we're going to come down here and go to this block and do Control-V to have what we just had. But now we're doing the blocks that we're standing on now. And we're going to be placing down... Which one are we doing? Let me Control-Shift, left arrow, Control-C again. What are we doing here? We're placing down concrete where red terracotta is. So, oh shoot. Here, let's go back to our spot and then copy it. Do that. Red underscore concrete. Replace red underscore terracotta. And we're gonna copy the whole thing because we don't want to mess up. So Control C. Oh, duh. And boom. There we go. Now the whole thing is very much brighter, but better? Question mark? Maybe I should have done it with the wool on the bottom. Or maybe just no wool at all. Maybe we start replacing the wool with terracotta. And just have a different kind of pattern going up. Like one that lasts a lot longer than it does on the white side of things. And then on the bottom, obviously, we're gonna have the concrete come up a bit more. These two should not really interact, actually. The concrete could go lower, maybe the wool goes lower. Oh, missed a spot. Missed a couple of spots. Let's do this. Go in manually. Look at that. Incredible. Ta-da! It is a thing of beauty. You see what I mean, though? You definitely get a better sense of scale for this. Like, absolutely you do. Look at that, it's enormous. And you know what? We've got to get rid of this guy. Come on. But this is like in a day's work. I think this is good. This might be enough for today. I might be happy with that. That's really good. I'm very happy with this. It's not exactly how it was before, but it's still really good. I think the other one may even be better, but we still got it done, you know? We got our pier, we got our cave looking area, we've got our little beach started and a little marketplace started. This is good. And we're gonna go out, we're gonna expand and build more and hopefully do a lot more in the future with this. That's the plan, at least. I don't know if I'll be live again anytime soon. If anything, I might be live again tonight, but I think for now that's gonna be it. So yeah, I hope you guys had a fun time. I had a good time. I'm not great at talking while building. I think I've pretty much established that. Like, I don't know. I don't know if I could be a commentator or like a streamer while I do builds, but I like building and I enjoy streaming, so I'm trying to do both. I don't know. It's a little bit of a struggle, but hopefully we're getting there. And I just hope everyone can be a little bit patient with me and help me figure this out as we go along. But for now, I think that's it. Yeah. Hope you guys have a good rest of your nights, and I hope I see you all next time. Have a beautiful night, and I will see you. Who knows, actually. I'll see you soon, though, hopefully. See ya. Peace. Oh no, it's not gonna work, guys. It doesn't want to end. Oh. That's cute. But, good things must end eventually, so we're gonna have to go in manual. Yeah, have a good night. Peace.